Welcome back to episode 188 of the Life in Stride podcast. On this episode, we had friend of the pod, Rory Linkletter, back on one of the most anticipated episodes maybe in Life in Stride history, where he's hoping to break the Canadian and North American record of 2:05:36 at the Chicago Marathon this weekend. We got the full scoop on the race, Rory's race plan, racing against Connor, who's going for the American record. We talked about his training block, how it went. He rated it a 9 out of 10. Listen more to hear why, and much more. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. This was a awesome preview. If you're going to pay attention at all to the Chicago Marathon this weekend, this is a must listen. It was just so insightful. Roy's an open book with us, and we really appreciate that. So this was an awesome episode. I really hope you enjoy it. If you do, please drop a comment, leave a review, share with a friend, whatever you got to do. And of course, love you, mean it. When we're running through Norton Commons or the Pewee Valley area in Louisville, Kentucky, it's pretty easy to spot Mason Construction Home. The attention to detail, the quality, the stunning design, you can't miss it. It stands out. We aren't just saying that either. Our own co-host Scotty trusted Mason Construction to build his forever home, and he and his family couldn't be happier. Don't tell Scotty this, but we're at his house a lot because we love the home. He's all right too, though. If you live in the Louisville or Southern Indiana area and are thinking about building your forever home or doing a remodel, there is nobody else to trust with this project than Mason Construction. The link to their website is in our show notes. Click on the request information option and start the conversation about what your forever home could look like.
Episodes almost, or like 70 something. So we did it for years. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, I was on most of them.
Yeah, bro. That was the OG.
You listen to him?
Yeah, I think I probably listened to dang near all of them, like 75% at least. Yeah, I was a fan, bro.
Dude, I love that.
Back when Rory was on the Hoka and AZ.
Dude, I'm a professional talker, but I'm not a podcaster.
Dude, all you need to do to be a podcaster these days, you just need a computer and a mic. Actually, you can do it with a phone.
Yeah.
AirPods.
But you guys inspired my boy JT way too much, because he really thinks he's gonna like change his life by podcasting, and my ambitions are much smaller, just so we're clear.
I think it's good to have low expectations, but still grind.
Dude, I think he thinks he's gonna like be able to buy a second home, like just off podcast money, and just like,
dude, his social media is going hard too. I think he's trying to just get more people involved in his coaching, so it's a good way to get exposure.
Nah, I'm teasing, but it is funny. I got roped in. I got coerced. So,
well, you're in, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You're so in.
Yeah.
So we're talking about his new podcast with Jacob Thomas called the Outback Podcast. Inspired apparently by us, but I don't know about that.
Oh, I didn't even realize we were recording. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, just bantering it up,
we're
bro.
Live, baby.
We like the soft roll in. If you ever listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, he's never like, "Welcome to the podcast." He's just like,
"No, I like that."
How's your day?
No, I really do. No, that's
slow roll.
That's good. Keep it casual, like we're just having a conversation. Yeah.
We like to try and bait you into saying things you would never say on recording.
Well, that doesn't cancel out too many things. I let it fly. Loose lips.
We should have started asking about Connor Mantz.
Dude, I would have just told you how cool he is and how much I respect him. I love Mantz. I do.
I know you do.
Dude, all so right. What workout does Rory Linkletter do the week of a marathon? What'd you do this morning?
Yeah, curious actually when you texted that.
Yeah, so I did 5 by mile at threshold and then 4 by 400 at like whatever feels good. Sometimes that's slower than others, and today it was pretty solid, so it was like probably right around 5K pace today. And yeah, I do like the miles, the goals threshold, which is a arbitrary, I don't even like, threshold is whatever it is, right? Like people will call it anything threshold these days, but
I was going to ask what specifically is that pace for you?
I did take blood, so I actually stayed in threshold, LT2 to be specific. Good. We're running 446 to 448. And was getting like 3.3 millimole readings for the geeks and nerds out there. So,
and for reference,
can you please translate that?
Well, I was gonna say for reference, he's at 7,000 feet probably of altitude. So that's a good indication that he can run a marathon at that pace. So
yeah, I can, and I will on Sunday.
Yes.
Hell yeah,
So,
you will. Rory, we have you on this podcast because you're running the Chicago Marathon. And you're going to do crazy things at the Chicago Marathon. And that's in, what are we, 4.5 days out?
Something like that.
Little more than 4.5 days out. How would you rate this training block? Start there. Out of 10. 10 being the absolute best.
Yeah. I don't know if a 10 exists, so I'll call it a 9.
Oof.
Yeah.
okay.
That,
All right.
That's a heck of a way to start.
Yeah.
So you're like really confident about that time and stuff based on that.
I mean, I'm not really confident about the time. I'm really confident about my preparation to run a good marathon and my experience in having done that recently in Boston and Ottawa, my last 2 marathons being really solid, and me trusting my training and trusting that when I'm healthy and when I have good training, by and large, the race goes pretty well. So I'm trying something that I've never tried before in the sense of a goal time. So there is some unknown and some uncertainty with that, but I would say I'm at least confident that I deserve to give it a good run.
Would you say, I mean, normal people would say that Boston is a +5, +2 to 5 minute course, maybe, which in at your level, maybe not. But would you say that Chicago is a much easier course for you to run faster than Boston?
Yeah, if all other variables are equal, Chicago should be faster than Boston. I mean, we're talking temperature, training,
When
wind, yeah, and group matters a lot at the highest levels, like who you're with, how it's paced, what's happening, kind of vibes and stuff. Like, so if all things are equal in Chicago to Boston, if I am in the exact same shape, if the weather's the same, I would say to me personally, it should be 90 seconds to 2 minutes faster. Give or take. Give or take.
That would do it. You're in 207 in Boston, so.
Yeah, so but again, that's just me like trying to extract any sort of like data from what other people do, really. And because I haven't raced Chicago, I've paced it twice. I've been on the course. I know the course, but I haven't raced it. So what I hear people say about Chicago, and you guys might be able to confirm this from either your experience or talking to people, is the good thing about Chicago and the bad thing about Boston is Chicago doesn't punish you for very many mistakes. Like there's not a ton of stretches that you're going to pay for, going out too hard or what this, that, or the other. It's a fairly consistent runnable course, and there's not like a section that's going to break you mentally. I was actually talking with my coach this morning, John Green, about what I think is going to be the hardest part of the course, and it's like laughable when you compare it to the Newton Hills or what Boston throws at you. So I think Boston is not as hard in the sense of like, if you run it perfect, I don't think it's a slow course by any means, but I think it throws things at you that can certainly break you and slow you down. So,
yeah, that's a really good way to put it. Chicago just doesn't have anything that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really worried about how I'm going to handle this at mile 21.
Yeah, the only thing is like pacing and fueling. Like those are the things you got to do right to run a good Chicago Marathon, and get lucky with weather. So it looks like it's going to be pretty solid. So
I was going to say, I literally I got 2 texts from Eric Floberg just now, 1:35. He said 53 at start, getting colder and colder. And then I sent him a picture of you on the podcast, and he said, say hi to him for me. Ask him to cut a lock of his mullet off for me as a souvenir.
All right. I can do that. I'll be all fluffed and feathered for the Chicago Marathon.
You're going to go get your hair done the day before, get a perm?
Yeah, maybe. No, I don't need that. Natural curls only.
Yeah, so what's perfect weather for you?
I would have said, like, if we're speaking Fahrenheit's, 45 to 50 would be perfect. Like if I had picked the weather, I wanted it to be where you're cold on the start line and you're wearing gloves, maybe arm sleeves. You're considering like covering your ears because you're like, oh, it's crisp. Like that would have been like perfect, But this isn't going to be that. It's going to be like it's probably going to be because of nerves and everything, and us being like a bunch of skinny distance runners. You're still probably going to be like cold on the start line if you're just in your splitties and a singlet. But I don't think anyone's starting in gloves and arm sleeves this year. I think it's going to be one of those where you're warm as soon as you start running, and you're fine. So yeah, I think it could have been, if I was trying to be a bagger, I would have chosen a little cooler than it is, but it's certainly nothing to complain about, especially when you consider what Berlin got this year and what other races in the past have gotten here in Chicago.
Yeah, the crazy thing is I used take it for a grain of salt, or for what it's worth. I chat GPT'd what are the past 10 years start temps of Chicago Marathon, and it's actually averaged in the 60s the past 10 years. There's been like one good weather year, 1 to 2 in the past 10 years. Most of them have been like mid 60s. But like if you look, like I looked at Houston Marathon and half, and it's like the average is like low 40s.
Dude, I've frozen at the start line of the Houston half before. Like I've been genuinely cold before starting that race, and yeah, January's brutal, man. Like
last year, the past 2 years, dude. The past 2 years, it's been. Last year, it was like a wind chill of 20 degrees, and then the year prior, I think it was a wind chill of 30.
yeah,
And that's
Not
freezing.
bad.
yeah.
Roy, how did you even choose the Chicago Marathon? Because I think maybe after we talked, after your Boston race, your awesome Boston race, you were thinking about pacing Connor for the American record in Chicago. And I know you probably had a couple more options too, right? You probably could have ran World Champs for Team Canada. I know Cam Levins did, and then you could have probably ran, I mean, New York, I'm sure would have loved to have you too. So, what led to your decision to be like, okay, it's time to go for the Canadian record, North American overall record? What, like, is it just the right time in your career? Are you in the right kind of fitness to go after it, or how'd you like choose this race?
I knew I wanted to go for the record this fall. I just didn't know what the right threading of the needle which race to choose, how to maximize earning potential, this, that, or the other, like the nuances of professional running. And Chicago just ended up being the best opportunity in a couple ways. The other option that came close second was probably Valencia. And I think Valencia, for what it's worth, is slightly faster than Chicago and slightly more reliable in weather. I haven't run Valencia. That's just because I've run Seville, and I know people that have run Valencia that claim it's really nice, but Chicago has the world record for whatever it's worth in both the men and women. Asterisks on the women's especially. But it's still the course that someone could run those times, right? So it's fast, and I've paced it, so I know there's nothing slow about it. So, and I love the majors, man. It's just, majors are awesome. And as much as it would have been cool and a good practice for me to pace Connor, and that was something that Connor and I discussed after Boston, like he was looking to get someone reliable that he could trust, that he knew to pace him, because he all along was doing Chicago. He's a Nike boy. He's American. They're gonna roll out the red carpet for him, right? But I don't know. Like the idea of erasing it got more and more enticing, and the incentives were good enough. I think I'm a big stage performer at my core, and Chicago is a big stage. So if I'm gonna run the record, I feel like running it in Chicago means a little bit more than running it in Valencia. People like in North America wake up and check results for Valencia, whereas in Chicago they're watching, they're paying attention. There's a lot of hype around the event, and I feed off that kind of energy. So I think it was just more playing to my strengths and seizing the opportunity to race Connor instead of just be in the race,
Yeah, I want to talk about racing and pacing a little bit. I mean, everybody knows that Connor, like, he loves to go out, like, just steaming hot in the front of the pack, but so do you. What is your plan with racing and pacing? Are you pacing yourself, or is this just like you're at some point in the beginning, if he makes a move, you're not looking at your watch?
I mean, he's not going to make a move. If he does, that's crazy, because I feel like he although he is a psychopath in a lot of ways, I think he wants to protect this record with everything.
Okay.
Like I think knowing him and knowing what matters to him, I think he's got probably a tier of goals set for himself on the weekend. I think his safety net goal is the American record. I think that's worst case scenario. I just got to get the American record. And I think in order to give himself the best chance at that, I think it's probably going to be patience, patience, patience. And I know his coach, he was my coach for years. One of Coach Eyestone's favorite marathon quotes is patience followed by destruction. And what he means by that is like, don't race too early, don't push yourself too early, run smart. And he is known to try to hold back Connor as much as possible, kind of like grab him by the reins. And Connor's had a great training block. He's been racing really well from everything I can tell. I'm sure he's confident that he can run the record. If I'm confident I can give it a try, he's got to be, glowing with confidence that he's ready for this, right? Like he's got recent results that say that he should be ready for it. But yeah, I think he's going to sit in a group, and I hope I'm in that group. There's rumors of a 204 group, a 205 group, and who knows who shakes out where. Ideally, we're in the biggest pack possible, working together, and we'll see. Like that's the thing about Chicago is they bring a bunch of pacers out, and sometimes there's two pacers where there only really needs to be one, and that can create some confusion and chaos. So early, it's going to be about figuring out who's going with who, and at the end of the day, I think the best chance to get the record is to race for it. And so if it's the difference between having your own pacer at 205 pace or being with that big group of 5-6 guys at 204, I'm probably going to opt for the people over the pace. So we'll see what happens. I have no idea what's going to happen.
So there's not like an official pacer or like
there is
someone that
there is, but we won't know who is in charge of what group and what the paces are until like the day before. We have an idea. We have an idea. So I know who the pacer is for. I've been told that there's a 205 group that is being paced by Athanas Kyoko, on athlete. He has the same representation as me, same agent. Stud Kenyan guy, always runs well. He'd be trustworthy. I know he could run that pace for a while. So that'd be 62:30 through halfway in theory, and probably he's highly incentivized to at least make it to 30K. And I think he could probably do that. So once that's done, though, like all bets are off, right? Like after he steps off the road, you have no idea who's feeling what and who's going to go with where. But I know of two other Flagstaff people that'll likely be in mine and Connor's group. Two NAZ guys, Alex Masai and Wesley Kiptu, probably. Again, this is just talk of the town. And then, Zuhair Talbi, I've heard, is going to probably be in our group. And there's a Japanese guy that's run 206 that'll be there. So maybe a Kenyan, maybe an Ethiopian, who knows?
Yeah.
Who's I was gonna add a fun comment here. I was hoping that Cam Levins and Clayton Young would come off Worlds and just do that like ultimate bro move and pace you guys to run like 205 low.
Clayton's
awesome.
going to be in Chicago. He's just on the broadcast. Not
Dude, just tell him to lace up some shoes.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get Asics to give him some shoes and just
I think he's got
to run
shoes.
half you.
I think he's got shoes. I don't think he wants to help Connor get this record. If I had a hottest take ever, like I think he will cheer for Connor, but like not all the way. Like, hey, I hope you break the record, but not by too much. You know what I mean? Because he just, I don't know if you just saw the announcement. He just got announced in Valencia, so he's running Valencia December 7th. So
really,
like he's gonna go for the record. And I jokingly, when I heard that Clayton was doing Valencia, I texted Connor and said, "That's nice of Clayton to let you have the record for 6 weeks." So, just try to light a fire under Connor. So.
Oh, that's funny. So, what are a couple like? I did a race preview, Elite Field preview, last week, and I kind of stalked your Strava a little bit. Saw a couple key workouts that you seemed really happy with, but I want you to tell me what are a couple workouts that really stand out to you this block that give you confidence, and then I'll tell you which ones I saw, and we'll see if we
like this. I like this.
Yeah, I think there's three. There's three workouts in my mind that told me I'm in a good place. There's a couple like ancillary workouts that aren't going to pop off the Strava that I think are really good indicators. Like my double threshold, this build was by far the best I've ever done, both in lactate readings and consistency of splits and how I felt in them. I was actually running like 440s at altitude with good readings, which if you even compare that to the Boston build, I was running like 450s with higher readings. So like I'm running 5 seconds faster a rep in like mile reps, say, with like a whole millimole less lactate buildup. And I don't know what that's all about. Like I couldn't point to something and be like, that's this. Like maybe it's Nomeo. I take Nomeo now more regularly. I was taking it in the Boston build, but that's more of a regular in my repertoire. But I don't really know. Those numbers are exciting to me. I don't read too much into it, but it is exciting. But the 3 workouts that gave me the most confidence in like a practical sense of simulating a marathon, I did 14 by K on, K off on Lake Mary
I
Road.
saw that, dude. I sent that to a couple buddies on a group chat.
Yeah,
I was like, I cannot believe what Rory just did. Go look at this.
it was a good
Dude,
one.
I was blown away.
It was a fun one. And at the time, that was the longest workout I'd ever done on Lake Mary.
Yeah.
And I averaged, I want to say 503 per mile with, half of it being floats, right? So, and finishing very fast and feeling very good. Like it was the best I've ever felt in a workout like that. And also the pace was reflective of like good stuff, right? Like the floats were like 320 to 325 per K. And the ons were like 256, 257 on average with like a 245 last K. On Lake Mary at altitude, 28th K of the workout or whatever it was. So like that kind of stuff was that was a good one. That was one where I was like, okay, that felt right. And that's in the middle of a 140 mile week at the time. So I was fatigued and everything. So that felt good.
So good.
And then I think it was 2 weeks later, I did another workout on Lake Mary Road, another big one, long one, again with Bia Simbasa. That's who I did that workout with Bia, and I did this next one I'll reference with Bia. It was 10K at marathon effort-ish, 10K float again, similar paces, the on-offs. And then it was supposed to be 10K at marathon effort again. And this is funny. This was like probably the best workout I've ever done, but I dropped out with 800 meters to go in the workout. 800 meters to go.
Are you a runner? Do you need running shoes, gear, apparel, more? If so, I got the scoop for you. Kencom's Running Store is the best place to buy any running supplies you need. Located in the St. Matthews area of Louisville, Kentucky, their friendly staff will take excellent care of you. If you are a newer runner and need help finding the right shoes, or you're looking to get plugged into the Louisville running community, this is where you need to start. If you don't live in Louisville, check out werunlou.com. We have a discount code and the link to the website in the show notes, and the shipping is free for purchases over $100. I promise you, Matt and team are the friendliest people you can meet. Don't hesitate. Get your running supplies at Kencom's Running Store and support an amazing local business.
Crazy.
Did you know there was that much left?
Yeah, I absolutely
Yeah.
knew. I just was like, it was the weirdest calculation. I kind of like, I don't know. There was a few things going on. Like I almost am pissed at myself for not just like jogging it in, because it was the best workout of my life. And I can't like give myself full credit because I totally bitched out with 800 meters to go. And it was like strictly because it was a really hard workout. I was getting deep and I was in the middle of the biggest week. It was peak week of my build. And I just had this feeling like, I don't need to finish this thing, man. Like I've already had the best workout of my life. Like I was like giving myself so many excuses. And the way that Lake Mary finishes, where we start and finish, you go uphill with 800 to go. And so I crested this hill and I was flying, and I was like, dude, I'm working way too hard. Like I'm done. Like I'm done. This is stupid. And I just stopped. And right when I stopped, I was like, that was stupid. Why did I stop? But I also was like, whatever, who cares? But anyways, that day I ran 18 miles at 5:02 or 5:03 pace, with the 10K in the middle being at 5:20 pace. So like 450 on bookends at altitude. And I think we were running like 4:48 when I dropped out because that was part of the calculus. I was like, we're going way too fast. Like this is like I've never run this fast on Lake Mary. So yeah, that was a good workout. I am sad that I dropped out. If I end up failing in Chicago, I might look back on that moment as like I know
should have kept pushing. Damn it!
I know it won't matter, but it'll haunt me. I know it will. So hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me. And then
That's the perfect.
the last workout that I'll add is that one that I just featured on my YouTube, which was like the 3x3 mile with 1 mile float. That one was, again, I on all of these workouts I'm referencing best ever, and this was I've never run that fast at altitude. And I covered 11 miles at 4:52 pace with 2 floats in there, and my ons were 4:44 average, and that's 2:04 flat pace. So I don't think I could have kept going for a marathon, obviously, because I was at altitude and in training, but I did feel for the first time like I could lock in at that pace, and it gave me the confidence that, tapered up and going into Chicago, I can run that pace for a very long time. I don't know if I can run it for 26 miles, but I could definitely run it for longer than I've ever been able to run it for.
Yeah. I love the in that video, just seeing like the family man part of you. I love your kids watching and like cheering as you're just going at, North American record pace for a 3x3. And they're just like, go daddy. And then you're like finishing the workout and your kids are in your arms.
Yeah.
It's a cool part about the YouTube scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end too, like your wife's like, "Why are you wet?" And you're like, "It's humid out." And she was like, "I'm freezing."
Dude, we got like an overnight rain, and it was like the rainiest week in Flagstaff, and that morning was really humid. They made the locks look good, so I'm hoping we get a little humidity for the hair's sake. I think if we're looking for peak hairdo on race day, we need a little bit of humidity in the air.
Dude, if you get me like elite corral access, I'll like act as a hairdresser, bro, and I'll get in there and I'll make it look good right before the race. You just let me know, all right?
Yeah, before the race doesn't matter. We need the finish photo for it to like be flowing.
Well, I'll still be running for hopefully only 31 more minutes.
Okay, 2:36 is the goal?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Nice, I like that. That's sub 6 minute pace.
Yeah, that's my goal. My last marathon was 6:02 pace. I'm hoping to be in the 5s. You're hoping to be in the 4s. I'm hoping to be in the 5s.
That's a good barrier. I love that barrier.
I know. I want my average on my watch to say 5:59 or faster. But this podcast is not about me. It's about you. Mentally, you just talked about like the mental grind of that last workout or the workout before that, quitting or calling it, I guess you could say, 800 meters to 4. And you talking about that haunting you. Running is a mental game. It's like, I swear 50% mental, 50% physical.
Maybe 75-25. I think it's more mental than physical.
Especially when you're like toying with records and running at a unknown pace, right? So, first question, how are you handling taper week?
Terribly. Yeah,
it was the expected.
Yeah, like last week, the last like 5 days have been just an absolute gong show for my emotions, bro. So,
yeah. Have you been sleeping okay?
Yeah, fine. I haven't been sleeping bad. It's more just like I can sense the nervous energy in my body, and it's like causing like, oh, this is tight, that's tight, this is tight, that's tight. And then you fixate, you get stressed, you compile, and you're just like, it's like getting worse and worse because you're worried about it. And so yesterday was the first day I was like, dude, I just need to take some belly breaths, man. I need to take some deep breaths. I'm way too wired right now. So honestly, like to me, today was a really, really positive day. I felt really good on my workout, and I'm finally like calming myself down. I think I went through like that craziness for like the last 5 days, and hopefully the next 4 before the race, I can, take that deep breath and settle in and just get calm, because I know I perform best when I'm loose. I like to be an intense competitor, but I'm also like, if anyone knows me, knows that I like operate best with like a little bit of lightness to me, a little bit of like, I want to be joking with people. I want to be having fun. I want to be the guy on the warm up cracking jokes, not the one with his headphones in, listening to Eminem or something.
Yeah, which that does work still. The headphone in guy. It does work.
It works for some people. It wouldn't work for me, man. I think I tried to be that person in my past selves, and it's just not me. That's not me.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Kobe Bryant, Mamba mentality, but I'm not that guy.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. There is a alleged thing that Clayton said to you at Boston around the last corner, or you said to Clayton, I'm sorry, and he told somebody that you said, let's tango, right?
Yeah.
And you said you don't recall that. I mean, your heart rate.
I blacked out, bro. I blacked out.
You're maxed. Yeah, I remember the way you talked about the last like 5K of that race was like you essentially were like not Rory. Like it was just like you were not there. You and Connor last mile. You're at 40K. What do you like? And you're side by side, and it's just you two, and you all are in no man's land. What are you saying to yourself, and what are you saying to him?
Whoa,
dude, that's a good question. I would say honestly, like if I'm next to Connor with 2K to go, I'm probably having the best race of my life, and I'm probably well under record pace, and I'm probably in the top 5 in the race, and I'm playing with house money. I think I'm playing with house money at that point. And so I might just get reckless out there. I might just be hooting and hollering, like engaging with the crowd, like trying to start a wave or something. I would be, dude, I'd be over the moon just because like that's what you dream of when you're training hard and when you're in the hurt locker and training and when you're on your easy runs by yourself or putting in the slogging in the easy miles. Like that's the moment that you dream of, is like the perfect day where the stars align and you're conquering all the demons and you're hitting all your goals. So I like to do this with my best races. I can always remember a point in the race where I tell myself, dude, you're already having a good day. This is probably why I dropped out of that one workout. You're already having a good day. Like just enjoy it. And you're playing with house money. Like you got nothing to lose now. And I remember telling myself that in Boston as I entered the Newton Hills. I was like, you've run with the lead pack all the way to the Newton Hills. You're on like 2:05 marathon pace at this point still. And you're like in this. And I was like, even if I drop out, even if I die on this hill, I was like, I could be proud of myself knowing that I did what I set out to do in the sense of process, right? So if I'm next to Connor with 2K to go, dude, I will be so dangerous at that point because I will be in my head. I will have already won the race. Like I will be like nothing can happen from this point on to ruin this for me. And I don't want to like get cliche, but like let's say I like cramp up and like don't run the time I set out and like it's like a bummer. I would still be able to take like the process of like, man, you were 40K into the Chicago Marathon at this pace, and this was like you ran so far at such a like high level. Like I don't know, I'm not like as from a process standpoint that would be A1.
Yeah, you had a really good kick. Was it your last half marathon or was it a 10K or something?
Half in
it was a half. Yeah.
Half champs.
Yeah, right. And you kick somebody at the very end on the finish shoot. And there's a couple people that I would be really scared to be next to at a marathon, at a kick, and you're one of them. It's like everybody's scared to be next to Cole Hawker, or if he's right behind you on a 1500, like that, you just don't want to be that guy. But you're the guy at a marathon that I'd be scared of. So how confident are you?
I think Connor would, if you gave him truth serum, he'd be afraid too. And that's just because he knows me well enough. And if you ask, I don't know if this made the YouTube or not, but Clayton, when he finished, he's like, Rory got me, like to Coach Eyestone right in the finish shoot. And Coach Eyestone said to him, and this was passed to me by either like Clayton himself or Ed, one or the other. And it was like, Ed replied, that's what Rory does. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I've always been a good kicker. Back in my NCAA days, I like was famous for, if I was there with 400 to go, I was usually pretty good. It was like getting there, right? That's why I say I'm playing with house money, because the hardest part for me is getting there. Like, if I'm going to fall apart, it's probably going to be well before kicking starts. So like what if I'm like a dog that like, once I can smell like the finish line or like the next thing, like I'm like I like see red, right? Like it becomes a different like part of me, right? So I don't know what that is. That's like something that just has always been a skill of mine. But yeah, I take a lot of pride in not losing in the last bit. But you have to be having a good day for that to even be a part of the equation. Like,
True.
So
You're gonna have to go 41 and change,
Yeah.
okay, in order to get that to happen.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a spot.
I think what's so unique about and exciting about this race is the Canadian record is 2 seconds faster than the American record. And you and Connor are in like the prime of your careers, you were college teammates. And like, there's a legitimate shot the men's world record goes down in this race as well. But like, I don't know, I'll be there watching. And I know American fans and Canadian fans that follow this like professional sport. I know I'm more excited to see you guys coming through than those top guys going for the world record, because like I'm just so invested in. I feel like I know you guys from like YouTube and stuff like that. So, and obviously doing pod with you. So like I think a lot of people watching and listening to this probably feel the same way, that the excitement from the race is mainly coming from you and him going for these times, even more so than the world record attempt. So it's just a really unique race situation where we have a 2 second gap and we have two of our, the two best current marathoners in Canada and US going for records that are 2 seconds apart. So it's just a really unique race opportunity. And people listening, watching, just soak it in for sure watching this race, because, this isn't going to happen very often, where we get a situation like this. So soak it in.
Yeah. The only thing that could be better is if we were competing for like a very meaningful place in the race as well. Like that's the only thing. Like I'm almost certain Connor Mantz will win a major at some point in his career, just because I believe in the talent that he has and who he is. Like that's probably the only thing that would be more valuable than what he's going to run on Sunday. Like I have a lot of confidence in him, and honestly, like my confidence in him helps me. I think genuinely, I'm like just like he's someone that has been a peer of mine for a very long time, and I feel like he's given me the confidence to try to do things that I never thought were possible. Like I don't think I'd be trying to run 205 in this race if it wasn't for Connor Mantz being who he is and being someone that I've rubbed shoulders with a lot over the years. We raced each other when he was 13, 14 years old. Like we've been racing each other for 15 years. More than half of our lives have been intertwined, because people don't realize this because I'm Canadian, but we were high school rivals too. Like we raced each other because I went to high school in Utah. We were high school competitors. You can look at state cross country results from 2010, 2011 or whatever it is, right? Like it's been a long time. It's been a really, really long time of us like going head to head. So, and the only time I've ever been better than Connor Mantz is when he got back off his mission in Ghana and was fat. So, I have a lot of respect.
So what you're saying is we need to get him back on mission.
Yeah. Send him to West Africa for 2 years to preach the word of God, and then I'll have a chance again. So no, I think I mean, just like with the same thing that makes Connor good, I think makes me good. And it's like an innate belief that, we can compete with people that are better than us on paper. And so I think I can compete with Connor, and Connor thinks he can compete with anyone. And that's kind of like the magic of it all. And I think we're in a golden era in a lot of ways. Obviously there's been people before us that have done amazing things. Cam Levins being one on the Canadian side. You got people like Ryan Holmab, Galen Rupp even, that have done great things. And so it's not like we're the first to do these kind of things. It's just like this is a new era. So
Yep. All right.
Good things.
Anything else, Scotty, before we let Rory recover for this race, man?
Yes. I feel like I have one more thing.
Oh,
What are you doing, Rory, in the next 5 sleeps to make sure that you get to the start line at 100%?
That's a good question. I don't even know the answer to that, man. Praying?
It's a good place to start.
Surrendering to a higher being. hoping that things come together for me, man. That's all you can.
The marathoning is really interesting. I don't do it for a career. You do it as a career. And even me, I put so much pressure on it. And there's so much riding on this one day. You got like 2 to 4 a year, right? And you do all this work every day, day in and day out, all for it. Maybe you might, I mean, the chances that your kid gets a cold 2 weeks ago and you get a cold, pretty likely. Like,
Yeah, it's possible.
you know, kids lick the floor, and like the chances that you know, like have a tweak, somewhat likely. I mean, it's like the
Oh,
odds of the weather.
a lot of things have to go well for you
Yeah.
to get to the start line. And then
Yeah.
then I'm more afraid of the things that can go poorly in the race. Like it's
Exactly.
such a gong show, man. It's like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, like
bottle
is my
tripping.
stomach gonna be fine? Am I gonna step weird at 22 and twinge? And I've had those things like almost happen or happen in races where it's like, oh shit, like something just happened. Am I gonna get through this? And
Or Clayton tripping
Yeah.
at Worlds,
Yeah.
like, and falling,
Yeah.
you know, right in the beginning.
it's
You know, those are things that you're like, I got to the start line, we're good. And then you still got to get through like the main event.
it's nothing short of a miracle to train for, show up to, and finish a well-run marathon.
100%. I mean, the bar has loaded. You're like 95% of the way there. You got here, you had the best block ever. The stats show it mentally, physically. So you got one thing left to do. Go get it.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
That's all you got to do, bro. Well, Rory, thanks for your time. This is 188, Life in Stride. If you want to share this with a friend, you should do it. Last 2 with Rory have been absolute heaters. One was post Boston.
True.
It was like less than 48 hours post Boston. That man was ready to like punch drywall, just straight up.
I might have. Who knows?
You were like hot, and I'm gonna see you again in Chicago. Maybe not, because you probably won't have to do like a finish line like
Angry
talking. They don't really do that at Chicago. But you looked me in the eyes of Boston and said, "If I do good, you're the first person I'm coming on with the podcast." Maybe it'll happen again.
Yeah, hopefully. I would
It'll
love
happen.
to have to deliver on that promise. So I will gladly make the promise in order to help my goodwill and the energy I need to make it happen.
Yeah. You don't need luck, man. You just need to execute.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time, dude. Looking forward to it.
Good luck to you
See you
guys.
Sunday.
Chris, you're just watching, right?
Yeah, I got a sacral stress fracture. I was gonna
Damn it.
try to break 220, but got a sacral stress fracture a couple months ago. So I'm back running now, but yeah, I'm gonna do Houston full instead. So, but I'll be there watching, cheering on. So
I'll be in
some good video.
I'll be in
YouTube.
Houston, hopefully. So not for the full, but
I'll be in Houston.
so
Nice, see you there too.
sweet.
Wherever you are, Rory, we are.
There
Yeah,
we
we're
go.
on a follow.
We travel.
All right, dude.
Okay.
Have a great rest of your day.
188.
See ya.
Peace.